Hello again, everybody. I'm Canna Claus, and I would like to welcome you to the very, very first ever live taping of Metaflora Presents Beyond The Haze. It's a podcast, international podcast. We have three places that we record from. I record from Niagara Falls. Our musician records out of Los Angeles. And my partner, Tripto, he records from one of three locations, either Los Angeles, Las Vegas, or from Romania. Metaflora is a blockchain-based company. It's very unique in the cannabis industry, and I'll tell you what Metaflora does in its basic structure. It sells nodes on the internet, and a node is a blockchain system. And in each node, they've done some interesting things with their own nodes. And Metaflora is using the internet blockchain structure as a database for licensed producers and consumers so that we can get a solidified genetic lock and record of every single cultivar of cannabis that there is. We've so far cataloged 3,750 cultivars, ranging from every strain cultivar that you can imagine, has already been sequenced, and we've stored the data, the genetic fingerprint of these, on the internet. They will soon be available for companies to cross-reference. So, for example, we've all had gone to the store and we picked some stuff up and let's say it said Jack Hare on it. There's at least 50 Jack Hares in the Canadian cannabis market. And I can tell you right now, as somebody who's grown and tasted the original Jack Hare, that there is only one of them that is really Jack Hare. All the other 49 are mislabeled. Now, could you imagine going to the grocery store and buying fish and thinking you're buying a type of fish and never getting the type of fish you expect, and thinking that perch tastes like tilapia until someday you actually get perch. This is a big problem, not just here in Canada. It's a problem throughout the world. And Metaflora is approaching it. The difference between putting things on the cloud and putting them on the blockchain is that once they're on blockchain and you have the key, it will always be there. Longer than Metaflora will exist, those genetic markers that make Northern Lights will always be recorded on the chain. In addition to that, and one of the principles behind the founding of Beyond the Haze is that we noticed a pattern in legalization. So in Canada, we are now 7 years into legalization. And in the 3 years leading up to it, we started seeing claims about cannabis usage that are unfounded. And things like there's fentanyl in the cannabis. We started hearing about cannabis hypermesis syndrome. We started hearing about cannabis-induced psychosis. We started hearing all these ridiculous negative things that we had never heard about our entire lives with cannabis until we started talking about legalization. Now, coincidence? No. And I can tell you why. Every single place in the world that is approaching legalization goes through exactly the same misinformation campaign by the anti-legalization people. Now, 99 out of 100 of lawmakers throughout the world are uneducated when it comes to what they need to base their decision on. And they're influenced by lobbyists, and they're influenced by these negative things that I just told you about, because a doctor will come forward, a psychiatrist will come forward, a person who has zero medical training on the endocannabinoid system but has doctor in front of their name. So the politician who writes the law comes forward and says, this person must know what they're talking about. They're a doctor, but that doctor is completely ignorant because his school never taught him about that system. That lawmaker now is getting told that cannabis use, especially high potency cannabis use, you know, that stuff you guys all want, the dabs, the chatter, the 29 point whatever percent THC stuff that you're after, that in particular is the problem. That is what's causing people to have psychosis because of cannabis use. The problem with that is there's no medical studies that back that up. There's some slightly anecdotal stories coming out of emergency rooms. The other great one that you hear is cannabis poisoning. Oh, trips to the emergency room have gone up 700% since we legalized, and it's kids. But that's not the fault of the cannabis. That's the fault of the cannabis user who's uneducated, who doesn't realize that, yeah, you might throw up if a child, let's say a child induces gummies or ingests gummies. They're not going to die. It does not affect your respiratory system, but the doctors don't tell you that because they don't know that. And they don't know that because we don't teach that in our medical schools. So now you have these lobbyists approaching lawmakers, and a lawmaker is trying to make an informed decision. Well, how are they going to do that when the people who are actually informed look like me? And if I go there, then they say, well, I listened to Canna Claus. They're going to get, you what? Right? Anyway, or you listen to Dr. whoever, Mr. Respected person over here, who tells you it's inducing cannabis. But then you go on to Metaflora and you go into our files for government officials trying to make well-educated decisions on cannabis and legalization. And you will find double-blind studies from all over the world, peer-reviewed, repeated studies that prove things such as cannabis-induced psychosis does not exist. Cannabis can influence somebody who's already sick. It can exasperate symptoms. But one of the things that they found is that people self-medicate with cannabis when they have mental health issues. So they're using that to say that that is the cause. But somewhere like here, 7 years in, we can tell you that mental health cases have not increased with usage. The percentage of people that use has increased. The percentage of people with mental health issues has not. That is conclusive. After 7 years, if cannabis was causing psychosis in people, we would see a marked increase in that. So one of the things that we're doing between the podcast and the website and the notes is making this available to people who make decisions in other countries and even in our country all over the world so that they can make informed decisions based on real science. Because the government and the medical profession doesn't do anything about it. I became involved with them. We've done one season so far of shooting Beyond the Haze. We've investigated, we spoke to a fellow in Romania who was quite tied to Rick Simpson and worked with him for years. And we talked about medical suppositories and how using cannabis and cannabinoids rectally makes it available to your lymphatic system. It's the only way of getting it into your body where it will get into your lymphatic system, and that helps markedly with certain types of cancers and stuff. I'm not a doctor, so this isn't medical advice, but I can tell you that this show that we do, we also interviewed a fellow who has made cannabinoids water soluble by changing the shape of them and being able to fit them through a pico filter. It's called Pico Cannabis. You can look them up. They have clinics throughout the United States where you can get injected IV cannabis, CBD, everything but THC. And they have some incredible results. We interview people from all aspects. We do music. Gala music is big for us. Also a blockchain-based music thing where you can buy music from some of the people on Gala. You buy the song itself and it acts like an NFT, so it gets played, you get paid, and so does the artist. It's a great platform. And we like to interview entertainers. So we would like to take a little bit of advantage of being here at the 420 and having some celebrities with us. And I'd like you to welcome to the stage with me, Tyrone Parsons, played Knucklehead from the Trailer Park Boys. While we're waiting, I just want to give a quick plug. Comic-Con will have Tommy Chong here. Make sure you get your tickets and come out and meet Mr. Chong, because that's a special thing to do. I met him a long time ago at a private party, and that's another story. But welcome to the stage, my friend.
Hey, how you doing, my man?
Good. Good.
How's everything?
Everything's great. We're recording over here. It'll be we're gonna put that up later on our page. So how you liking the show so far?
I'm liking the show a lot. I mean, it's my first time out, so I'm enjoying myself, meeting the people. That's what it's all about, right?
It is. Shaking the hands and whatnot, right?
Exactly. And kissing babies, but there ain't no babies out there.
That's it. It's a 19+ show. So
Right. So, right. Well, I see some babies, but they baby faces.
That's it. So where are you from? Where give me a little bit of background on yourself, if you don't mind.
I'm from Lucasville. Lucasville is like a tiny community, and in Halifax. It's just outside of Halifax, and that's where I'm from.
Right on.
But I live in Halifax. So.
You live in Halifax?
Yeah.
Cool. And how long you been in entertainment?
I've been doing entertainment my whole life, believe it or not. Like, when I say my whole life, since like a kid, like child.
Yeah. Like formally, or like dancing for the family and the...
That's where it started at.
That's where it always starts,
for the family,
right?
Dancing for my mom and her friends and stuff. They'd be partying. She called me out the room. Me and my sister, or me and my cousins, we come out and have to dance for her and her friends and her sisters and whoever she was partying with.
Yeah.
And it just started from there.
And the family was always supportive. Mostly?
Not in the early stages.
No.
Nah, not even in a bad way though. Not in a bad way. Just in a way that, was racket to them, They didn't understand it.
Right.
And then, it just, as things take time.
Are you sure you want to do this? Are you sure you
Right.
can? Yeah.
Right.
I've seen a lot of that in...
I had to prove a lot of people wrong for the people that actually doubted what I could do, like as far as me doing what I'm doing, just because I was always told or looked upon like you're not going to make it, or it's extra hard for you to do. So
you're going to starve to death.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I ain't starving.
Yeah, and you ain't starving. You're doing well.
Good. I'm doing good. Yeah.
You're doing good. And you got the Trailer Park Boys stuff, but you also have music.
Yep. That's how I got into Trailer Park.
Was through the music.
Was through music. Yeah.
Right on. So tell me about how that happened.
So I was in a group with two groups, made a group, and two solo artists came. 2 groups, 2 solo artists, and 2 DJs came together, and we formed like the super group.
Okay.
And from that group, there was a skit made on the album, on the CD, and it was called Trailer Park Trevor. The director at the time, shout out to Mike Clattenburg and Barry Gunn and Mike Floppy, all those guys. They heard it at the time, and they called my then manager, Garnet Estabrooks, a.k.a. Mr. Finch, and they set up an audition for us to come in and audition for this show that they were shooting called Trailer Park Boys. And 8 of us, I'm pretty sure like 8 of us went in, and out of the 8, I was the one that they called back. And from that day, I was in season 1, episode 1, to what we have right now.
All the way up.
All the way up.
Good job.
I mean, and mind you, there's a few things that I'm not a part of, but at the same time, I mean, you know, it is what it is. But I am there since day one till right now. So yeah, I'm one of
That's
those
awesome.
characters, definitely.
That's awesome. That's a long time. That's like 15 years.
15 years. Well, I say a little longer, but yeah.
Yeah, well, for shooting pilots and stuff, right?
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
15 and a half, 16
Yeah,
years, something like that.
When I started that show, I was 20 years old, and I'm 45 right now. So
That's 25 years.
there you go.
There you go. That's a long.
And I was doing music before that. So
Right on. And how's in the music? You still doing the music?
I'm still doing music. I mean, at the moment, I'm working on some stuff right now because I got a lot to say and I got a good story to tell. So I'm just trying to put it together the best way, and that's why I'm not rushing. I don't want to tell somebody, like, I don't want to tell people that I'm working on something and it's not going to come out, or, you know, like, I know a lot of people do that. So I'm just trying to work on it and get it done.
Yeah, there's
and then
nothing.
bring it up.
I do painting, and there's nothing worse than giving yourself an end deadline for something that you're trying to create.
Exactly.
Because, I mean, it works in
Sometimes.
certain cases.
Yeah.
But
exactly.
when you're really trying to put the finishing nice touches, sometimes you can end up rushing it, and then you go back and look at it and you wonder, what did I do that to myself?
Exactly. And you know what? When it comes to me making music, I've done it enough on my own to know not to rush myself. And,
Yeah.
And for the mistakes I made before, I'm trying to learn from that. That's why I'm not rushing myself.
Well, that's what we
So-
should do with everything.
Definitely.
Make the mistakes. Don't be afraid to make those mistakes.
Well, you got to
right?
make
'Cause
mistakes. You learn from mistakes.
Yeah.
You got to learn.
If you're afraid to make
Well-
mistakes, you'll never do anything.
We're all trying to learn, but when you make mistakes, if you're not making mistakes, you ain't trying.
That's right. You're going to just do
You got to
nothing.
make mistakes. So.
Yeah, that's it. And so kudos to you for following your dreams, man. What about other acting other than Trailer Park Boys? Did you do any other, maybe some local theater? Did you do that at any point? Nothing like that?
Before that show started, I just did like home videos and stuff
Okay.
for my cousins and stuff. We shot like little videos, and
Yeah.
a couple of high school guys, we made like little home movies, and then we played them on the big screen in high school at the dance. You know what I mean? So everybody could
Yeah,
see
yeah.
it. I did stuff like that, but I never took no lessons or, you know, acting
Right.
classes and stuff like that. I guess when they casted me and picked me for the show, they like what they see.
Yeah.
They like what they see,
It'd
and
be natural.
that's why they call me Tyrone. I'm right for the part.
Ah, right on.
Yes, yes.
Yes, sir. And anything coming up we should know about?
At the moment, I'm working on some stuff. Like I said, I got some music coming out. I am on a lot of features. Anybody want to do a feature, hit me up. I'll do features for sure. I do got a group project that I'm working on with a couple of guys, Sess and Root Dog. It's called Wild Bunch. And we're working on that. I'm working on some music, like I said, my own stuff. And that's coming soon, hopefully. And
Maybe I'll hit you up and we can do a Christmas album. Canna Claus, the Tyrone Christmas album.
we can make something happen. We can make something happen. Definitely, we can make something happen. I got some acting things on the go and stuff. You know what I mean? I'm trying to jump in whenever I can jump in, and
cool.
I'm pretty sure that we may be doing something with the Trailer Park Boys. Something might be coming out, or something might be happening. Is what I was hearing.
Oh.
So, you guys want to see a new season or something, or?
Wouldn't that be something?
Well,
New season of Trailer Park
that'd be
Boys.
dope. And I did hear something supposed to be going on, so be on the
Wouldn't
lookout
that
for
be
that.
special? So yeah,
Your eye opening, your ear
you
opening.
heard that it might happen here first, breaking on Beyond the Haze. Just clear that haze a bit.
That's what I was told,
Smoke,
but
and you
I
might
like I
find
said,
a Trailer Park Boy hiding out there.
just saying, you know what I'm saying?
I hear you. I hear you.
That's what I'm
Okay. So on that note, I think we're gonna wrap up the show. This is gonna be broadcast later. We're gonna send it. I gotta send it down to the studio in LA, and they're gonna do the thing on it.
Definitely,
And,
definitely. Well, man, the pleasure's all mine.
But I got a little gift for you here before we go.
Okay.
So you know what a chillin'?
I thought it was the hat.
You want the hat?
You're reaching in the
me the
hat.
hat.
I thought it was the hat.
I have the hat too.
I got-
It's a good supply hat, but simply to protect my chillum.
That's
We
dope.
make these chillums. So this one is made out of a special wood from India. That's for smoking I smoke hash out of that.
Serious. I like that.
Have you tried these? There's like a big one hitter.
Oh, I never.
Show them how you do it.
So you got a screen, you got a mini screen in here like this, just a little one, just in case you don't want to clean it. But this is a big, deep bowl,
Yeah.
right?
All the way down, yeah.
That'll hold a good 2.5 grams of ground flour. What I tend to do is I'll take a gram of hash
Yeah.
and a gram of flour and grind them and fluff them all up together because you need something to keep that hash burning.
Burning, yeah.
And then you can hold it several different ways, but the idea is to hold it like this and create a vacuum in your fingers. Hang on, why is it not working? Because I'm not stoned enough.
Yeah.
Usually, I've never done it with my new ring. That might be the problem.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
So the other way to do it is like this. And
Oh,
you don't put your lips on this.
you just hop it.
You just puff it
Ah,
and you point it up in the air.
yeah.
Now these are used by the Sadhu in India.
Let's go.
And they make smoking hashish a religious experience. It's called a chillum because that's all you're doing after you smoke it is chillum. It'll chill them right down.
Serious.
But I had a friend making them here. We were selling them for a little while, and I want to give you that as a token gift. Get it? It's for token.
Yes, yes.
And you can fill that up with some hash back in Halifax. I know how you guys from the East Coast like your black weed,
Definitely.
your black resins and stuff out there, like
You'd be
Montreal.
surprised. I do have a lot of hash in my house for some reason.
I'm not
People
surprised.
give it to me all the time.
Right on.
I get it all the time, but I do have a lot of hash in my house, so
That's
I
awesome.
will be definitely, and I will make it a point to be smoking in this.
Do it because it really does change. There's something about smoking out of a chillum that gives. I'm not a religious person,
Yeah.
but there's some kind of spiritual thing that happens when you smoke out of one of those. It just
Well, we're gonna see.
Ooh.
We're gonna see. We're
Settles
gonna
it
make it
right
happen.
now.
Definitely,
anyway.
definitely.
Perfect. Well, thanks again. Great to have you on the show.
Pleasure's all mine.
Thank you so much, everybody, for coming out.
Oh, that's your boy. You already know. And if you don't follow me already, you can follow me on Instagram at Knucklehead Official. I'll let your boy check my Monday story. It's always positive. It'll start your day and start your week in the right way. I'll let your boy. You already know.
Perfect. And if you don't follow me yet, follow me on X. I'm on there because they keep kicking me off of Facebook and Instagram. They don't like weed like
Yeah.
we do.
That's right.
So on X, I'm or Twitter, depending on if you're ever going to call it X or not.
Not right.
I'm Canna Claus at Clark Bitter. There is no E on Claus, but there is on Clark. Don't get them mixed up. People always want to put an E on Claus and take it off of Clark, but no. And you can find me there. My banner is with the Trailer Park Boys and me in my full-on costume. But thanks again for coming out. We will be sending this up on our, there's links to the podcast also on the X site. It's at metaflora.com. You can look it up there. And there's links to Gala Music. You might want to look into Gala Music. We're going to be doing the same thing on Metaflora as well. I'll send you some links and get your stuff up on there.
Sounds good.
You sell your music as if it's an NFT. So people can then use it in ads or whatever, and you get paid and they get paid. Every time someone plays it on Spotify, you make a bigger percentage than they do, but you make at the front end as well.
Yeah.
So people buy off you, and then every time it gets played, wherever they play it on any platform, you get paid. And then you make a little money too.
Okay.
So it's kind of a neat way of
Definitely
revenue
send me
sharing.
that link.
You get a lot more money than you would just playing it on Spotify.
Definitely send me that link.
It's a good one. Thanks again, folks. Beyond the Haze. Happy 420. I think we're hitting almost that time. We got to get outside and get blazed.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Peace out.
All
Questions all fine. Thank you.
My place.
I like that a lot. Probably got up to 8, 9 grand. Yeah, it's fun. Like that.